Hi, my name is Kelsey and I'm Homeinc's transaction manager.
Hi, my name is Nailah and I am a transaction coordinator for Homeinc.
Today we're going to be discussing what an earnest money deposit is and also what the documents and the steps are towards a closing.
So first we'll be starting off with the earnest money deposit, which is usually the first step when you first open a file. So the EMD, or also known as the earnest money deposit, escrow deposit, that's X amount of funds. Usually it's about $1,000. So it's $1,000 that's going to be deposited by the buyer on the transaction. And that's pretty much the buyer saying like, hey, I'm going to close on this property. If I don't close on the property, then, I'll forfeit or I'll lose my earnest money deposit. So it's sort of just like, like a good faith deposit saying, hey, I'm going to perform.
So once the deposit is put in with the escrow account, there's also the contract is signed, and then that's when we will open a file. So once we open a file, we order the searches. This is after the inspection period. So the buyers always have an inspection period. And during that time, they are able to either move forward with the purchase or they are able to release the escrow, which will cancel the contract.
Absolutely, that is correct.
Once the searches are ordered, it's the title search, the lien search. If there's HOAs, we'll order estoppel letters, and we'll also start for the buyer's approval process.
Correct. Once we have, once the contract is executed, the escrow agent reaches out to the seller and try to collect a document called the seller information sheet. Pretty much the seller information sheet is just a form that asks for basic information relating to the property. For example, it would ask for mortgage information, the seller's personal information such as their social, marital status, etc. It also asks for the wiring instructions, HOA information, and just any and all information relating to the property.
To go back to what Nailah's saying, the reason why we ask for all this information, so Florida is a homesteaded state. That's the reason why we ask for marital status, which means if, let's say, the seller is married, but only the husband or the wife or the spouse is on title and not the other spouse, they still will have to join in on the deed at closing since it's their homestead property.
Right.
So that's some of the information we gather at the beginning. The reason we ask for the socials are for the 1099 purposes at closing, as well as requesting any of the mortgage payoffs or judgments or anything like that we would need their social to verify the identity.
Correct.
Let's see.
Now with the judgments, usually we're able to at least verify whether or not the judgment belongs to our seller by the last four of the social. So that's like a good quick way in order for us just to be able to clear title and get through the files. Of course, ordering the mortgage payoffs, and just any sorts of liens. There are different types of liens. A lot of the times, the liens may have, or like let's say it's a judgment, sometimes they will have the last four of the person's social, and we're able to verify that way. But yes, the social is very important as far as
confirming the judgments and seeing.
Correct.
Once we get the searches in, there also will be more information we might need because the title searches will show us what is needed for clearing the title on the property.
Correct.
So we might have other things pop up that the sellers weren't aware of.
Absolutely.
We might have things that pop up from like the chain of title, meaning from the previous owner.
Absolutely.
Which we have to work through. And in that case, so let's say something pops up from a previous owner, an outstanding mortgage maybe that wasn't satisfied, or just something that the other underwriter didn't require when they purchased the property. Usually, in most cases, and fingers crossed they do have it, they'll have what's called an owner's title policy. So what that is that's when you purchase your home, it's like getting your insurance policy on your house. This will cover anything that does pop up while you own the house and while you go to sell the house. So if there is a previous mortgage that wasn't satisfied, we can usually submit their policy to our underwriter and they can work on that. They can use that, to delete the requirement for our closing. Correct. Or if there was a requirement that didn't come up when they purchased the property and it did come up on our search, we can also use that for that purpose.
Correct. And in the instances that the current owner don't have an owner's policy, then that's when we have to do tons of research.
There's other ways around it, but it's easier to have the policy.
Absolutely. If they do, then we hit the jackpot. If not, then sometimes we do have to do some additional research. Sometimes it's just as simple as contacting the prior title company to then collect that owner's policy. A lot of the times homeowners, they don't really understand the importance of keeping their owner's policy. But yes, definitely it is a huge help. In the instances that we don't have the owner's policy, we do have to do some additional research. Sometimes we have to do, skip trace people, try to get in contact with those prior owners to see if they're willing to help. And yeah.
Some other situations are when a seller has paid off, if they've owned the house, let's say for more than 30, 40 years, and they have paid off their outstanding mortgage. A lot of the times the banks either forget to record the satisfactions in a different county, or some banks have even gone out of business after the fact. So that's another example of what we have to work on to clear and what we can use the policy usually for.
Correct, absolutely. And then as Kelsey stated before, let's just say, yes, we might have a title commitment, but then things come up on title that we have to submit to the underwriter, and then we will get what we call a revised title commitment that may have new requirements. For example, if someone is deceased and, let's say there wasn't specific language on that deed, or if it wasn't their homestead, or it's in special cases, special circumstances, then, we might get an updated title commitment that now is requiring a probate. So, with a title, you never really know what to expect. Sometimes the sellers and the homeowners don't really know what to expect, but there's definitely a lot of things that goes into clearing title. It's definitely not as simple as, A to B or.
So one good thing about Homeinc and about our company is we're able to help the sellers from the beginning of the process all the way to the end. So if no probate has been started, we help them. We have a probate attorney that we used. We do cover the fees for them so they don't have to come out of pocket. Those fees will then be reimbursed once we're ready for closing. And we help them every step of the way. We help them get the documents needed from the heirs. We help them with any steps that the probate attorney might need or the information they might need. Then once that's completed, which sometimes it's quick, sometimes it could be within a month or two, but a lot of the times it does take a lot longer than that because probates are confusing. But we help them, like I said, every step. We get all the info and then we move them towards closing. So that's another good reason to work with Homeinc. So these are just some of the examples that will come back on the title search and what we have to go through in order to get to closing. If you're looking to sell your home or if you want some more information in regarding same, then give us a call today.
And I can reassure you that you will have a smooth transaction from start to finish.